this will be the official office tour / studio. I'm going to show you everything, explain everything behind it, give you all the specs of the technical stuff, but this is more than just an office to me. It's got like a huge meaning to me. It's got a lot of history in here, and it's got a very, very sentimental touch to it, but you'll understand that. I'll put that at the end of the video. We'll give you the juicy stuff first, you know. Okay, so this is the front room of the office. Basically, this desk here that you see here, obviously it's got a printer, it's got my paperwork and stuff. It's very much a admin sort of desk. That's an MSI Trident PC with an MSI 32-inch curved gaming monitor. I don't know exactly the specs. We've got a Corsair K65 keyboard and a SteelSeries Rival 710 mouse with a nice little soundbar. That telly is going to go on the wall eventually. Got a little sofa there just for hanging out after streaming stuff. This is the beer corner. It's my baby, constantly stocked up with thing. You can see the top of it there. Keep all of my essentials there, like my headphones, keys, sunglasses and that. We've got 2 fridges. One's for really cold stuff, one's not for really cold stuff. Photo and the clock that you see there are both my granddad's. I stopped the clock the time that he died, and obviously it's got a very sentimental meaning to me for that. Saw the whiteboard and the card that my supporters got me for my year anniversary of streaming. Coming into the bathroom, we've obviously got the bog, the sink, mirror, coat pegs, a load of photos of my granddad, and then coming into the main part of the studio here. This is the gaming PC. I'll put the specs up on the screen. We've got a Samsung Odyssey G7 32-inch monitor, GoXLR, SteelSeries Apex 7 TKL keyboards on both setups here, and Rival 710 mouses as well. Random 4K Samsung monitor for chat, and a Gigabyte 34-inch ultrawide. I'll put the specs up for the second PC as well. We've got Elgato Keylights, air conditioning, all the cameras, mics, nice little LED sign behind us as well. But all the specs will be in the description if you missed anything too. And yeah, just some knickknacks there too. Safe. When I started building this office, for the last 7 years, it belonged to my granddad. It was a garage, but we converted it into an annex when he moved in with us. He had several stroke. Lived with me and my mum, so we could both look after him. He passed away at the end of last year, in December last year. And he'd always said to me that he wanted me to turn this into an office. Around the time he passed away was sort of when the channel was blowing up. It was horrible to be in the position of things going so right and things going so wrong at the same time, but life throws us challenges. I would have been so pissed off if I'd have quit. So I kept going, I kept grinding, I worked harder and harder and harder. Started seeing more and more success, and everything was paying off. I got partnered a few days before he passed, and I was fortunate enough to tell him that we did get partnered with Facebook just before he passed away, and that meant a lot to me, because he knew how much I'd worked for that. He knew how hard I'd worked to be in the position that I was in, and hearing him cry down the phone was soul destroying, man. I knew that I had to keep going, had to keep grinding to get in the position that I wanted to be in. We kept moving, we kept working, we kept growing, working harder and harder, progressing the content more and more, progressing the community more and more. It got to a point where it felt like it was time to start clearing his stuff out. I was working stupid hours during the day and at night to keep the channel running, to grind as hard as I can. And it was taking a toll on me because I was doing everything out of my room. I had to give myself some separation. And even though sometimes it felt too soon to start clearing his stuff out, for me, it was the best thing. I walked in here and I got sad. It still had all of his stuff in. That was horrible. I felt close to him. Grief is a weird thing, I guess. So we cleared the stuff out. Pud was obviously a great help throughout all of this. There was a lot of tears involved in it. Me and my mum, it broke our hearts, man. It's not something that we ever wanted to have to do. Obviously, I don't think anyone wants to do that. But we cleared it out, started working on it, basically renovated the entire thing. The only things that really stayed was the foundations. Literally everything, we pulled everything out, repainted it all, ripped up the flooring, put new flooring in, everything. Me and Pud done all of it. Didn't pay anyone a single penny. I wanted to do this all off my own back. I wanted it to be something that we had done, and that we had done to the best of our ability. Yeah, we could have paid people to do it and probably do a better job than us, but it kind of took away from the whole personal touches and the personal side of it. If you saw in the video just then, like the little B-roll tour, you would have seen there was a couple of little things hanging about. I did sort of briefly explain some of them. The painting above the beer corner, I have a huge attachment to that painting. My granddad, from every house that I remember him living in when I was a kid, always had that painting on the wall somewhere, and the annex was no different, so I wanted to keep that painting, put it above the beer corner and have it a part of my space now as a reminder of him. The clock above the door, that clock just always makes me smile, because for whatever reason he always had this, I don't know how a clock can drain batteries so often, but every other week he'd be asking me to change the batteries in the clock again. I don't know why, but I liked that clock. The day he died, for whatever reason, in a flood of tears, the first thing I did was come in here and I took the battery out of the clock and rewound it a couple of minutes to the minute I found out, 8:14. I like it there. It obviously doesn't work, it's got no batteries in, but to me it means something. Then in the bathroom, his flat cap that he always used to wear is hanging on the pegs with my jackets and stuff. And his walking sticks are in there as well. There's a couple of photos in the bathroom. Well, I say a couple, there's like a whole collage of photos in the bathroom too. In the office, I have a little I have a little picture. I don't know if I actually showed it in the video. I have a little picture up on my right up there. It's the, I don't know what you call it, like the sound waves sort of thing, the sound chart. Of What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, because that was one of the songs that was played at his funeral. When I designed the office, when we built the office, I didn't want it to be a sad place. I wanted it to be a place of creativity, hence the paintings, hence just me being able to unleash what I envisioned. But I also didn't want to leave the essence behind of my granddad, hence the small knickknacks per se that were to do with him. Like even his trainers sit on top of the beer fridge, because he always used to leave them on the windowsill and it drove my mum mad. And it's small subtle hints and reminders that when I look at, I don't get sad. I get, you know, it reminds me of the good times, it reminds me of the good things, and I think that's important to do. I didn't really need to put this in the video, but some people knew I have spoken about it on stream once or twice before, around the time that he passed. But it's something that's close to me, and I think for me this video isn't really for the audience. I think this video is more for me to look back at in a couple of years time and think back on the cool things that have changed since. Obviously it's shit doing this without my granddad. Anyone that's lost anyone knows that. He was like my best friend. He was everything to me. But thank you for watching the video anyway. Don't just suck it, Halford, suck it. Big love, and I will see you in the next one, man. Safe.